Hi, my name is Delesia and this is Life is Deleesh. Each week I make videos to help women live more abundantly. I also share tips on beauty, style, femininity, and everyday life. So today I'm conducting a case study on Ciara and Russell Wilson to support my claim that the right man can change your life. Now I know what you may be thinking. What is Delesia talking about? Ain't no man gonna change my life. But hear me out. This all started with my post on how to win this cuffing season, where I mentioned Ciara and Russell Wilson and their love story and the feedback that they get sometimes from haters and naysayers about her level up. And it made me think about the criticism I may receive for even saying that she leveled up by just being with a different man. And I want to say that I don't think that's too far-fetched. We often hear that the right woman will change a man's life, but it goes both ways. You know, I'm a firm believer that you don't have to put one person or one group of people down in order to lift up another person or another group of people. And what I've been seeing so much in our society is that in order to lift up women, we sometimes pull down men. Like, consider this. If you're dating a man and someone says, "Oh my gosh, how did he get you? Bro, what did you do? Like, what's she doing with you?" Like, it's, for women, it's a compliment. Like, I'm so great, like that, you know, I was hard to get and that he's an ogre and it was very difficult for him to get me and he doesn't deserve me. He shouldn't be with me. But if someone came up to me and said, "Delesia, how did you get this good man? This man is good looking now. What is he doing with you?" Excuse me? So for some reason, it's acceptable socially to say those things about a man, that he's an ogre or he's a beast and he somehow, you know, landed this beauty. But it would not be okay for us to say the same things about women. And sometimes they are said, but those things aren't socially acceptable by any stretch of the imagination. Okay, how often do we see in sitcoms where the woman, the wife, is very smart and very talented and she's a great multitasker and she accomplishes and achieves all these things, and the husband is depicted as this like oof who like goofs up all the time. He's like dumb, he doesn't make good decisions, and it's like the wife who has to save the day. What I'm saying is, I don't think that that's necessary. Both women and men can be strong. Both women and men can be successful, talented, brilliant. And we don't have to berate our men in order to elevate our women. So back to Ciara and Russell. If we look at the things Ciara has done since she linked with Russell, we will notice an overall change in her life and her lifestyle. She was already successful in her own right. No denying that. She had been in the music industry for years. She was a likable person in Hollywood, and she was pretty much a household name before Russell. So I'm not here to invalidate or to take away from anything she did prior to. I'm just here to point out 5 observations I've made of how she has leveled up since she got with Russ. Number 1, she gained an active father for her son. When Ciara split from her former fiance, her son, Future, was just a few months old. And so by the time that she and Russ got together, he was still under a year. But since day 1, Russ has treated Future as his own. And you know, that's what any single mother would want. Single moms, when they're dating, their biggest priority is that someone is able to not only love them, but love their child or their children, because that is their first priority until they decide to get married. And what I love is that whenever Ciara and Russ announced their children that they had together after they got married, they always added to Future. So they said number 2 and number 3 instead of, you know, Russell saying, "I'm having my first child." It was clear and it was evident that from day 1, he took on Future as his own. And I think that's a beautiful testament to his character And I think that Ciara just feels so much more confidence in him and in their relationship, in their marriage, because of that. I think that was a determining factor into how quickly she fell for him, how quickly they became engaged and married, because she knew that from the get-go, he loved her son. Number 2 is she has increased her social good. So charity work and volunteering was something that Russ has been doing for a long time. As a fellow Virginia native who grew up close to Richmond, I would often hear of the work that he and his family were doing in terms of their philanthropy. And during the NFL season, he makes weekly trips to the Seattle Children's Hospital to volunteer with patients. And now, since he and Ciara are together, she has begun going on those visits with him. So that was something that he was already doing. That was a huge part of his world. And once they linked, he brought her into it. So I didn't really think of Ciara as particularly philanthropic before Russ, but I certainly see her as so now. And when you consider the millions that they contribute to organizations for children, and even during this COVID pandemic, it's been pretty notable. So together their impact is much greater as they're volunteering and serving, not only now as a married couple, but also as a family of 5. Well, the baby, isn't going anywhere, but you get what I'm saying. Third, she has grown spiritually. So before Russ, we know that Ciara wasn't really abstinent. She was likely a believer, but it was Russ who challenged her to wait to be intimate until they were married. And that was something that he shared in an interview at the Rock Church that received so much criticism. But anyways, for Christians who are dating, one of the hardest struggles is no sex before marriage. Some people, maintain their purity right up to their wedding night. Some people stumble and have mistakes, and God doesn't love any of them more or less because of it. And I want to point out that, waiting for marriage doesn't make you any more holy or righteous or better than anyone else. But it does show a commitment to honoring God's values and to placing his before yours. Now, plenty of people do this and are still hateful and judgmental and the devil and many other ways. But it is a spiritual discipline. It is hard, I can assure you. It's especially hard for adults who have done some things before. So she had tried it her way for years, and with Russ, together they decided to try it God's way. And I don't think this means that your marriage is going to be more prosperous or God is going to bless you more. There's going to be favor over your relationship because you choose to do something that you're called to do as a believer. But we see that there was much fruit from their relationship because we know that sex clouds your judgment. Sex can cause you to stay in a relationship longer than you probably would have otherwise. Sex can bond you to someone that you otherwise would not be bonded to. So it is a huge spiritual discipline, and it may seem like it's just physical, but there is a huge spiritual component to it. And like I said, she's been more vocal and open about her faith in the years that she's been with Russ that I've seen from her before that. Number 4, she's taken her career to new heights. We know Ciara as a singer and as a dancer. She's sold more than 23 million records worldwide. But who knows if she dreamt of more for her life? When you're with a man with vision, you're challenged to dream bigger. Even if you're already a big dreamer yourself, it's kind of like, nah, bigger. 2 heads, especially 2 that are visionary, are better than 1. In 2016 alone, she signed a modeling contract with IMG, and she became a global brand ambassador for Revlon. So those were 2 opportunities that she took to stretch herself further, to do things she hadn't done before, and step outside her comfort zone to achieve more. Not only that, but she's been a host for the American Music Awards, and she recently completed a business of entertainment, media, and sports program at Harvard. And I know what you must be saying. Okay, Delesia, she's rich, she's famous, like anyone in her position could do that. And you're right. Anyone in her position could, but not everyone does. Around the time in her life when she would have attended a traditional 4-year or even 2-year university, she was pursuing her music career. So she didn't go to college. And now taking the opportunity to further her education, I think is commendable. Choosing to invest in your education, no matter your age, is a smart move. Not only that, but she did it because she wanted to learn how to be more effective as a businesswoman. That's a boss move. And finally, together, they just achieve more. They recently formed Why Not You Productions, which is a new company that's focused on creating scripted and some unscripted projects for film, television, and digital media. Ciara herself said that their mission is to create stories that will touch people's lives. They're also part owners of the Seattle Sounders FC. So together, they're making some pretty big moves. Apart, they were both successful in their own right, but together, they appear to be achieving more. Now, I just want y'all to tell me if you see her doing any of these things with what's his name? Probably not. You may also say that she could have done this with any man that she was with, like Delesia. It didn't have to be Russ. And you're absolutely right. What I'm saying is the right man who inspires you, who supports you, who invests in you, who helps equip you, who challenges you, who encourages you, will help you achieve a world of things that you wouldn't be able to achieve if you were with someone who was constantly bringing you down, whether through negativity or through lack of ambition, lack of support. If you're a blogger and he's not reading your blogs, get him out of here. If you're a YouTuber and he doesn't watch your YouTube channel, he doesn't help you with content ideas, he doesn't, help you with filming or with equipment, what are you doing? If you're a writer and he's never read any of your work, what are we doing with men who aren't helping us to become better? You could be with anyone in the world, but I challenge you to be with someone who is going to help you level up. Achieving your dreams is hard. It's not always fun. There are days that you sometimes lose your motivation and you feel discouraged. You want to be with someone who on those days is going to be your pick-me-up, someone who's going to challenge you to keep pushing forward, someone who's going to invest his own time, his own energy, his own money into ensuring that you achieve what you want to achieve. And this isn't a take relationship. There is give. But if you find that you're giving more than you're receiving in a relationship and that the amount of investment isn't the same, it's time to reevaluate if this person is helping you or hindering you. Because, like I said, the right man will change your life. So ladies, that's what I think. I stand by having the right man in your life will help you achieve more just by having that partner, someone who is on the same wavelength as you, someone who is committed and someone who is making investments, making deposits, and not just making withdrawals. If you have a man like this, if you want a man like this, give me a shout in the comments. I care so much about women getting what they deserve in relationships, not being with these scalawags and dust bags and anybody who is not helping you to achieve more. If you're not helping the other level up, then one of you's gotta step up.